Alibaba has been hit really hard since its peak of around $320 back in October of 2020. In fact, it has been hit so hard that it's down almost 80% to $58 back in October of this year. Now that's really crazy for a stock that has such high qualities like Alibaba. So naturally, the question comes up if now is a good time to buy the stock. My name is Chris. As usual, super happy to see you here. So with no further ado, let's jump right into it. To be fully transparent on the channel here, I would like to let you know that I am currently holding Alibaba. I'm owning it on the Hong Kong exchange, and I'm also holding some of them on the US exchanges. And I'm currently having a average cost of roughly around $120. So I am substantially down in the company, but I am also convinced in the fundamentals of the company itself. So I'm not really worried about it. The last 2-3 weeks have been really good for Alibaba. The stock price is up, over 50%. So I think it's a relief for some of us investors who were able to cut some losses. Those gains mainly come because of 3 main reasons that I want to discuss with you guys today. If you're just like me, also interested in Alibaba, and maybe you've already invested or you're planning to invest in Alibaba, then subscribe to the channel, and I bring out regular updates on the company, on things that I believe are very interesting for us. The first reason, and one of the biggest catalysts I believe in the market at the moment, is that China is planning to slowly abandon its zero COVID policy. That will be really good for the market because of course people will be able to go out more freely again. They will be able, to go to work more freely again. Different restrictions will be abandoned, and all those lockdowns and, very strict measures will be abandoned. And that of course will be very good for Alibaba because Alibaba is really representing the Chinese economy. If the Chinese economy is going well, consumers in that market will spend more, and that is definitely going to be a big upside potential for Alibaba. Additionally to that, and the second reason why Alibaba has performed very good and I believe will continue to perform good, is because China and the USA have finally reached an agreement on their financial audits. And that is very good because it takes out that risk of being delisted. So far, there have been some audits from America of Chinese companies in Hong Kong, and the way it looks at the moment is that the companies have been cooperating very good, and also the Chinese government has been cooperating very good. So it seems that we're doing really good progress there, and that is definitely a good upside potential. And the third reason is Ant Financial. Ant Financial was supposed to go public back in 2020, but the government stopped that IPO, so they weren't able to go either on the Hong Kong exchange or on the Shanghai exchange. And due to that, there was a lot of regulatory concerns, and Ant Financial was really always in bad news. So in general, it has been really painful for Alibaba. But since the middle of this year, it actually looks like that there might be possibilities again to bring Ant Financial IPO. And the first time those news actually came up was back in June, when Ant Financial was able to gain a financial holding license. And that is the first step to go towards an IPO. And just now in November, it seems that there is again progress on it because Chinese regulators and Ant Financials are working together to clean up the mess that happened in the last 2-3 years. And it looks like as if Ant Financial is probably going to have to pay a fine again, roughly around $1 billion. And after that, we have a new start, and Ant Financial might be able to finally go through with its IPO. If that happens, it will be a huge gain for Alibaba and for its shareholders, because of course Alibaba will still hold a huge percentage of Ant Financial. So that investment from Alibaba into Ant Financials will greatly increase in value. Now those are 3 really strong catalysts for Alibaba, and I think that even if only 1 or 2 actually make it through until the end will be fantastic. But imagine if all 3 actually become reality, if the audits problem is solved, if the lockdowns are solved, and if Ant Financial is solved. It will be amazing for Alibaba, and definitely shareholders will benefit from that. And additionally to all of that, Alibaba is just still a powerhouse. They're still making crazy amounts of revenue, and their earnings is much better than how the media portrays it. Because have a look at this. Their net income is actually terrible at negative 22 billion renminbi, which is crazy. But almost 50 billion renminbi is coming from impairments of investments and loss on investments. So those are non-cash charges. That is money that Alibaba has invested who knows how many years ago, and now they're writing them off because maybe the investments didn't work out well, or they're being valued as lower than what they've invested it previously. So that makes up, you see, 10 billion and 38 billion. So that's almost 50 billion together. And if we take that out, we can see that we get a non-GAAP net income of almost 34 billion renminbi. And that is still very, very strong because most of those charges are non-cash. Just remember that. And because of that, also Alibaba's cash flow statement looks amazing. Have a look at their free cash flow. They have a free cash flow of 35 billion renminbi, which equals roughly 5 billion US dollars. So the company is doing fantastic. The free cash flow is there. They don't have any liquidity problem, and that's what it is. And what are they doing with all of that money? Well, they're actually buying back shares because they repurchased 13 billion renminbi in shares, and they've also decided to up their share repurchase program by another 15 billion US dollars. So in my point of view, there's no doubt Alibaba is doing great. It's just a matter of time until the stock price catches up with the underlying business. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe and smash that like button, and see you guys back next time. Thank you very much.